Well, I quickly want to retitle this Confessions of an Ignite Virgin. First rule that I've learned from tonight's presentations, spend more time on your slides. So this is a military presentation, and it's in a military style, so get ready for simplicity in slides. I want to talk about... They were due on Monday. I sent mine Tuesday morning. So here we go. The new energy economy. I'm talking wind, solar, biomass, biofuels. The players, Fort Collins, Northern Colorado Clean Energy Cluster, Colorado State University. A new energy economy was coined right here in Fort Collins by Governor Ritter and picked up by President Obama when he was candidate, came to Fort Collins. Department of Defense is leading the way in alternative energy in the new energy economy. Yes, I said the Department of Defense. We are involved in conflict overseas, not to spread democracy, but to ensure access to foreign sources of energy and raw materials. Consider these facts. 80% of the Navy's active duty is keeping the sea lanes open for ships inbound with fuel for the United States. What could they be doing if they weren't doing this? Another thing to consider, a fully cost-burdened gallon of jet fuel in a forward operating area in Afghanistan cost $400. $400 a gallon to fly jets in countries where people don't want us to be there. That is pretty amazing. The majority of our casualties are from IEDs or roadside bombs on the roads of the supply lines delivering fuel to forward operating areas. And so there is, how do we keep our soldiers safe? The Department of Defense takes a practical view to climate change. They don't debate if it's man-made or not. Climate change is real, and it creates conflict. And consider this, the Sahara Desert is shrinking in the west, but is growing in the east. Populations are displaced by climate change as they seek food, water, and shelter. This creates cross-border incursions that creates conflict, all caused by climate change. The business and social case, Pentagon budgets are shrinking, fuel costs are rising, climate change is real, securing fuel is costly in money and lives, access or the lack of to energy is a matter of national security. The way forward, the Department of Defense, it's very complex. We start with the Office of the Secretary of Defense. Then we have the services. Then we have the combatant commands. That's NORAD, that's NORTHCOM, that's SOUTHCOM, that's CENTCOM, all that you've heard on the news. And then it's the bases. The plan, the facilities, base energy efficiency. They are looking at the bases. They are saying, how can we do this differently? How can we reduce our energy consumption? They're looking at all kinds of options, and they need help from the private sector. If you have innovative ideas, they're looking for your solution because they don't know how to figure it out. They're looking to do green buildings. They're leading the way in LEED platinum buildings on military bases. No one ever hears about this. They don't do a good job with PR or getting the word out. They want to secure the grid. They want to make microgrids. They want to engage in distributed generation. They want to convert their trash to waste. They want to put up solar panels. They want to put up wind. They want to generate their own electricity and get off the grid. They're investing heavily in alternative fuels, in wind, in solar, in biomass, in geothermal, and in microhydro. We've actually taken microhydro projects into the Department of Defense, creating secure sources of power for military bases. Operations. They want to make jet fuel from algae. Solix Biofuels, right here in Fort Collins, is experimenting with how to make jet fuel out of algae so they can set up algae troughs in forward operating areas and make their own jet fuel. They want to launch the Great Green Fleet. If you remember in the early 1900s, remembering back to history, they launched the Great White Fleet, which put military dominance from the U.S. around the world. They want to draw back and they say, we want to be the Great Green Fleet. We want to be off the grid. We want to be making our own energy. They want to carry personal solar packs, and they want easily deployable energy sources in forward operating areas. Bottom line, they want to bring our soldiers home and quit protecting foreign sources of fuel from people who don't like us, who don't want us in their country, who just want to live and be free. And so the U.S. Department of Defense, surprisingly enough, is making the biggest investments in alternative energy and alternative fuel, and they're saving us a ton of money and saving energy. Thank you.